So like when people think of the word change, they think of like he said, they think of the failure that comes with the possible change, because you're stepping into the unknown.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when you're stepping into the unknown, it's like it's uncontrolled. Like I have no idea what's going to happen to my life if I do this. So therefore, people rather just stay in their bubble. It's the law of being complacent.
Yeah.
And complacency is a horrible thing, and
Stagnation,
people don't even realize that they're being complacent. Some people they think they so good in life, they don't even feel like they need to change.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast. It is me, your boy, Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mac. And today we have a entrepreneur, a downhill longboarder, a filmmaker, and an Army veteran. Ooh, you can relate, can't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have CJ, aka Hiatus Black.
Thank you, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Man, doing real good.
Just turn your mic on, please. I'm so sorry. We are so sorry.
Oh, we hot.
Yes,
I hear myself now.
We live.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Little technical difficulty. We back though. We back.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little about yourself. Longboarder.
First of all. How do you say your name, man?
The real name or the stage name?
Your stage name.
Hiatus Black.
Hiatus Black. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Because
I was a little scared.
Me and this dude, we just he just be like Hiatus. I'm like, who?
Right.
Because I knew your name on Facebook was Hiatus, and I'm like, all right, so who is he talking about? Like,
right.
I might have screwed it up.
It might be
my fault.
that country accent you got, man.
You know,
Bruh, I used to hate when people would be like, all right, sound out your words.
Oh, you were that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say gorilla.
Gorilla.
I spelled my gorilla with G-O. Starting with G-O, gorilla. That's how you say it.
Oh,
gorilla.
See,
Nah.
See, I'm from the hood, so it's gorilla.
Right.
You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Gorilla.
Yeah.
It's Grilla.
Nah, man. It was terrible. English was terrible for me.
So the name Hiatus Black. So tell us where that came from.
Oh,
I'm a little interested, man.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah, so man, the man that you see before you now hasn't always been this man that you see before you now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Growth and development, obviously.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, man, I was at a point in my life, man, where I was, doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gets old, So, one day, man, I had a buddy come down. And I don't know if you heard the musician called Thundercat, the bass guitarist dude. He's really bad, man, really bad dude. And we went down to the Union Theater down in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Seen him do his thing. We came back, and Demolition Coffee,
on
Bank Street.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Hey man, let's go for some lattes. You know me, latte conversation, yada yada yada."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Cool. Who's driving?" He was like, "We're not driving." Now keep in mind, before this time, you wouldn't catch me around no skateboard, longboard, bike. I wasn't living like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
I wasn't living like that. So he had this land yachts, man. It's like a drop down. It's like the easiest board you can learn how to ride on.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yeah, man, we're going to skate. And I'm looking at him like, bro, I don't know the first thing. Like, this is not going to end well. You know what I'm saying? This is not going to end well.
Right.
So he was like, yo, check it out. All you do is kick 3 times and you hold it. That's what he told me. That's all I got. 3 times. You kick 3 times and you hold it. And if you can hold it long enough, we skate in Demolition Coffee. I said, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
I'm down one time.
Okay.
Kick, push.
I kicked.
Push the cool.
I tried to kick. That kick went up in the air. My back went on the ground.
Oh.
And I just laid there for a minute, and I was like, you know what, homie? The latte ain't worth it. It ain't. I'm good. I don't want coffee no more. I'm good now. We can stay right here. We can end the trip on a good note. So he was like, yo, man, do it one more time. I said, nah, dog. I'm hurt. Like I'm hurt.
Pride,
because like
a little bit.
Yeah, concrete don't play, man. I don't care. I don't care if you just fall on your feet. I'm not doing it. So I said, you know what? Let's do it one more time. I did it one more time, and I wrote the Demolition Coffee. So
First time on the board.
First time on the board. So how the name came about was that I love that whatever it wasn't even an expression I could explain what I was feeling at the time. I just knew it was like, yo, I'm rocking with this, right? So what happened was Hiatus Black. I didn't even have a name at this time. I was just CJ on a skateboard. But what I found that, you know, when certain things arised and I had to pick and choose, do my time, and I always found myself on a longboard. So Hiatus Black means, if you just look at the definition of black, it's always connotated to something not good.
Right.
So what happened was, hiatus is a break from. So when I skated, it was always a break from doing something bad. And it just matured and it actually filled that void of doing something else to skating to now sitting with y'all on the Dirty Trunk podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Talking
deep.
that ish.
That's deep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at the definition. It was like a break or interruption in the continuity of a work, series, or action. I was like, yo, in order for this man to have a name like Hiatus Black, like, it gotta be a deep reason. Like, you don't just come up with like, yo, like for real. Dude come up with his stage name. Dude from the hood, he come up with like Lil something.
Right.
Like
right.
Or young something like or NBA young boy.
Right.
So like you don't necessarily come up with something deep like hiatus. Like that's something deep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I kind of knew that was the case. Like, yeah, man. Yeah. So tell us about this board you got here on the table.
Man. So this is a Comet Air Voodoo 36. The 36 stands for 36 inches. This is I don't know if this is going to be my final baby for going down the mountain, but pretty much
down the mountain.
This has a hollow construction. So what that means is there's holes in the middle, but it's heavy on the
ends.
So that means you can go faster. That means you can turn it, lean in it a little bit more. Also, it's short so that it picks up speed faster. It's a shorter wheelbase, so the agility of it is very high. Like, you can pretty much go left, right whenever you want to. This is my primary go-to, and it actually came, if you see here, I scratched off. It came with a warning label, and they stopped making it. Like, this board is no longer in rotation.
It came with a warning label.
Yeah. See, right now, this is board number 20. So yeah, they don't make this board anymore. This is a classic. Like, if anybody knows anything about longboarding, like, Comet's like the OG, and it says right here, A-frame technology.
Bruh.
Then you have like a slight concave on the end, which has your feet locked in. I course it up with really high gritty grip tape. I throw some trucks at the bottom, and you put me on the mountain, we going 40 to 50. If I'm feeling, itchy in my skin, we're gonna go to hit about 57, 60.
Bruh, like, cause I seen your I think you were in West Virginia a little while ago, man. And I seen that video, man. I was like, yo, this dude got to be going down this road at about like at least 50 miles per hour. I was like, yo, ain't no way. See, I ain't got that kind of luck, dog. Like,
and you know what's crazy about that video? If you watch it to the end versus the one I just showed you earlier, Marcus, where I stopped. Like I said, I was only skating. I only been skating for 4 years. So that was my second year into it, and that was my first solo trip down to West Virginia.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to stop. That's why I went to the grass.
Bro, like, weren't you like going into like an intersection or something?
I didn't know how to stop.
I was like, yo, what?
Like that.
I was like, oh.
It was either the car or the grass.
Yeah.
You seen the car coming, is either the car or the grass. So,
and like, it just happened. Like, nobody is out there. It just happened to be a car at the intersection as he was coming down. And I was like, hold up, how?
But I've been hit by 4 already.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Yeah.
Oh, my.
You good?
Oh, yeah, man. If I took this off, man, I'm tatted up, man. Like, I live and breathe this, man.
All
yeah,
right,
man.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. It's that deep.
Okay.
I would tell you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I stick to the water. I don't know how to surf yet, but I want to.
Like I ain't got that kind of luck. Like I get on the longboard, try to go longboard, man, and I just probably like explode on the way down. Like I wouldn't even have to hit nothing, just like
Hey man,
just
you know,
like I ain't got that kind of luck, dog.
I've been there. That's how I started.
I ain't got that kind of imaginary potholes, all that stuff. Like I ain't got that. I hit a rock and I'm gone. Like oh man,
it's practice. It takes practice.
Yeah, man, a lot of dedication. Like this is not a sport that you just like.
Pick up. Man.
It's. I've trained, I don't know, about 4 or 5 people, and they took that one splash, and it's that splash is so real. I don't even get in my feelings when they say, "Nah, man, this ain't for me."
Yeah, it takes a real one.
Yeah, so this is not something you just pick up on the weekend. Like you really have to love this because nobody's going to endure that type of pain.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Hold that thought. Yeah. Hold on to that. Hold on to that.
All right.
Hold on to that. Ooh, I like, and this starts back up to like where you talk about the first time that you got on, and I want to like talk about the fact like people fall, and anything. It's not even about like skateboard. I want everybody to catch that. Like it ain't even about skateboard or anything like that. Like he fell, and he landed on his back. And we were just talking about this. He fell. He landed on his back, and he got back up and got back on it
and went forward.
And some people, when they take that fall, and he just said it, that pain is real. It's real. So some people, like he just said, like he ain't even hurt when like somebody just like, yo, this ain't for me. Like I felt the pain that you felt. I experienced it. I don't want no more.
Yeah, I want that smoke.
I don't want that.
I want that smoke.
Exactly.
No smooth.
Yeah.
Tragic, man.
Ooh.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So, tell us about the latte conversations. Like,
oh man, the latte conversations, man. So a little background when that started, man. I've done marketing. I worked for corporate America down 3 Chop Road. Like, man, I'm a jack of all trades, man, because I was never scared to, put my foot forward and whatever. So with that combination, one day we were doing inventory, right? I got to that status where they let you see the books.
Ooh.
The books. So wasn't too versed in finances, you know what I'm saying? I got paid. I knew to save a little bit, but I didn't know about stocks. I didn't know about bonds. I didn't know about taxes. So working with this corporation, they broke all of it down because the more you know, the more money they make. So it's in their best interest to tell you something if they want a little bit more something.
Right.
So we're doing the inventory books, and she's breaking it down. She's telling me about margin. She's telling me about, the quarterly meetings, dividends, and things of that nature. And I'm looking at her, and you know how somebody tries to speak above you, like, yeah, you have to be pretty smart to get this. And I'm looking at her like, this is it?
This how you got it?
This is business? And you're doing what you like because you know this.
Like,
Let me get to thinking on something. So I said, you know what? Let me make a video, man. So I did latte conversations, and it started just with just motivational speeches, like a minute long, because I've been through a substantial lot, and I can offer something,
Right.
If you can't agree with it, take the good from what I said,
Right.
and rock with it. You know what I mean? So it hit. It took like a year and a half to hit, but I had a video that went like 2,000 views. And I said, oh, hold on. Then I started like researching other big time YouTube people, seeing how they did it. I did that for months on end. So then you had latte conversations, which then transferred to like daily vlogs around Richmond. And then you throw in after a while later, the longboard came in. They say you need 7 avenues of revenue to be a millionaire.
Absolutely.
So I started just knocking them down. So I said filmmaker, entrepreneur, longboarder, businessman, marketing. And I said I'm 2 steps away, 4 years later, of figuring something out and doing what I love behind it. And keep in mind, where we at. There's what I'm doing is ground setting. There's nobody else.
Oh, absolutely.
Out here doing it.
Absolutely.
So then I said to myself, started looking around. I was always in the community, very active. I helped build alibis down there on long streets. Helped I won't put everything out there, but I helped build up the city, old historic, downtown. And so just working with those guys and those owners, they put me on game. So then I got with the guy down there. He owns like the malt shop by Brunette's breakfast diner. And right now we're working on it because he wants to put me into the Petersburg newspaper.
Okay.
So I said to myself, man, what's the difference between somebody running a company and somebody working for a company? And it's just a decision.
Oh,
my dude.
Oh,
my dude.
It's just a decision,
My dude.
bro.
right.
Yeah.
That's all. Really
That's
think
all
about
it
that.
is. That's all it is.
You either want to go to work or you want somebody to work for you.
or you gonna be the work.
And I got tired of getting coffee.
Fact. Okay.
Bro, you hit something that we talked about on a previous episode where we were talking about how majority of people that we come across on a day-to-day basis, how they don't aspire to be anything more than what they are.
Right.
And we come across these people way too often. And and the reason why we were having this conversation on that particular episode is because like it kind of gets discouraging when you like the only one that feel that way.
Yes.
Bruh. Especially where we work at, man. And like, we try not to say the name of the company. But,
the place that shall not be named.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, we can't talk about it because we say a lot of bad things, and we don't put it in the brightest light.
Right.
So like.
But you know what though? Even speaking on that, man, it's mind elevation, man. And before I was able to afford to move like I'm moving now, the thing that got me away from that environment was books.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man.
Was just books, man, because like no matter where you at, man, nobody can put your mind in a cage but you. Then we're in a situation to where if you take a free bird and put it into the cage, it's going to feel some type of way because it knows what the world looks like.
Right.
But with that bird in the cage gives birth to a bird in a cage.
That's all that.
The outside world is the enemy, and the cage is the world. So what I'm saying is, it's easier to fool somebody than to convince somebody they've been fooled.
Oh, god damn, man! God freaking damn!
You say we getting heavy. Come on, man.
Bro, this ain't gonna be your last. This ain't gonna be your last episode, dog. We gonna have to get.
Bring this down close,
right? We had to make this dude like a regular, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, that like you dropping bars right now, though. Like this is like regular conversation for us, man.
Yeah,
it's regular conversation.
This episode might be 2 hours, man.
Oh man. I mean, we might have to empty the cameras first. we limited. Unfortunately, we only limited to like 1 hour episodes. We can do like a little bit more than an hour, but
I feel you. All right.
So man, like the core value of our brand, the Ascension brand, is to always wake up to be with the mission to be better than you were yesterday.
Yes, sir.
How can you relate to that?
Man,
and I know you just had the conversation about.
I got you.
You had the conversation about education,
right?
And getting knowledge.
So first you have to understand what better is. So say like, all right, we both been in the military. So we moved around.
Hold on, what branch were you in?
I was in the Army, brother.
You were active duty?
I was active duty.
Yeah, I did reserve for
Fort Hood,
8 years.
Texas, 553 Battalion, 602nd Maintenance Company, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And
so you spent time in the motor pool?
Motor pool, Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Dubai, London.
I've never been deployed, so I can't relate on that note. And I'm glad I did though.
Yeah,
I'm glad I did.
You don't want them nightmares, man. But but yeah, you have to know what better is. So it goes off your value system. So say like if you never took the time to look into yourself to see who you are, because it was easily I could have just picked up a basketball, football, just like everybody else does. But, I probably could have been good at it, but that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? So better for some people is, okay, I had Reeboks last year. I done moved up to Jordan, so I'm doing something. Better for some people can be, I was living with my parents. Now I'm just written, but I ain't thinking about owning. You dig what I'm saying? Right. And a lot of times that when people are put into a classism level and they say, you know what, this is how my life is supposed to be based on past visual experiences, observations, traditional teachings. Because really think about it. With me, skating exposed me to a lot, because I know growing up, 15, 16 years old, nobody was talking to me about no trust fund. I skate with 15, 16-year-old, and they're telling me about stock markets. They're talking about trust funds.
Boy,
they're talking
get
about
outta
bonds.
here,
They're talking
bro.
about CDs. And I'm looking at them at 15
Come
and 16.
on, man.
How do you know about this?
Where did you learn this? Because school ain't teaching you that.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe private schools. I don't know what private school do.
Maybe. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So you know where we from. It say as long as you got your own, you doing all right.
Right.
Ain't nobody name one conversation you have with somebody from around the way that talking about owning something.
Bro,
Nah.
they arguing about territory that don't even belong to them.
So what you have to do is, and fortunate for me, just my life experiences, I'm able to go to those blocks with those kids. And I do it all the time in Petersburg, on Halifax, on Diamond Street, on Rome Street. Hey, bro, what are you doing today? I pull up on you. I got 2 boards, 2 helmets, man. Let's go skate. I do a longboard giveaway every year, or at least I have another one in the trunk I'm putting together now. I just go down the block, man. See a kid doing nothing, I throw him a board and I drive away, man. Been doing that past 4 years.
Oh,
I don't know how many longboards are probably sitting in somebody's, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So
Giving back to the community. I like that.
Better is just a perception of what you know. Just because you tell somebody what better is, doesn't mean they know what better is. You got to take them to that short pump. You got to take them to them seminars. And even if they don't even listen to you for the 5, 6, 7 years that you planted that seed, it might come later.
Right.
There's a lot of people that invested in planting seeds on me 10 years later. And I was one of them kids like, all right, dog, good talk. You know what I'm saying? But now I can sit here 5, 10 years later. It's a whole tree now.
Right.
So we have to do more as far as, especially when we know that they don't know any better. It's more than just talk. Like, the thing that frustrates to me is, yes, if you've been and you bring awareness to the situation, cool, that is needed. But is you in them streets? And I ain't talking about doing everything else everybody else is doing. That's easy to do. Is you in them streets saying, hey, dog, I ain't knocking you, no, you got to make it, man, but let me throw you this book real quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Out here making a difference.
Do people even have the nerve to walk down Halifax 2 o'clock in the morning to do that?
Yeah. I feel
you get what I'm saying? I'm that guy. I've been that guy. Like, there's plenty of times you could run down Washington Street. Hey, dog, you ever seen that guy with the skateboard? They'll tell you, yeah. Hand out bottles to the homeless. Hand out $5 little scissors picture to the homeless when it's hot. COVID's going on. I'm still doing it because they in the worst position. They was already broke. Now the people that got money broke. So how you think they feeling right now?
Thanks.
So better
they looking like ain't no hope at this point.
Exactly. So I think better is just what your core value is at that time, and if you're willing to accept better, because a lot of people are based off of fear. You dig what I'm saying? People a lot of times know better, but it's that fear of rejection, like you said. It's that fear of you gonna fall. If you breathing in life, you gonna fall. If you breathing in life, you gonna be hurt. If you breathing in life, you gonna be depressed at some time.
Right.
My thing is like this. There's a thing we called being depressed and being in a state of depression. There's a thing called being hurt and being in a state of hurt. Process that. Get over it, because you know what? Tomorrow is gonna come. And life goes on. And trust me, this is 2020. I ain't saying things are perfect, but things are a lot better.
Right.
A lot of stuff is mental now. Back then, you had physical and mental coming at you. It was an industrial world, Now it's technological, so now everything's mental.
Yeah.
And people haven't been trained to properly protect themselves
mentally.
Yep. So even if you put better in them, you put a little obstruction in their way.
They don't know how to.
They don't know what to do with that.
They don't know how to act. They won't prepare. You gotta have proper preparation for disaster.
And the thing about that is, even saying that, like, I know everybody has their own life, but it's kind of like, if you know the world's the way it is, and you know that if that other opposite energy is not in that area, it's gonna get worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what your value is, what your motivation is, man. My motivation at first was, man, I'm gonna get these sponsors. I'm gonna go down here and be pro. I'm gonna travel the world. Then after a while, it was like, nah, man, this is deeper than longboarding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a self-expression. It's deeper than the money. You get what I'm saying? I got a job. Do I really need the money? It's nice, but I noticed that at a certain time of longboarding, with that being my motivation, I didn't get any better. And I was tripped out. I'm gonna tell you that. Didn't get any better, man. Learning how to stop, it was just like I was always comparing myself to the greats. And that's a bad way to get better. You know what I'm saying? I said to myself, okay, yesterday I didn't do it. Today's mission is to try to do it. Be realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's discipline. All right, I'm going to try a little bit more, because a lot of times when you're doing the sport, like, the balance is you. Like, it lets you know that you don't control anything. Like, when you go down there, your life is really in your hands for that minute, that 2 minutes, going 50 miles per hour. People don't understand, like, people will seriously get hurt with this.
Right.
So when you do that, all you do is influence the board. You know what I'm saying? That'll let you know. If I said, you know what, I'm going to go left by going right because I control it. How that going to work out? It ain't. So it'll let you know you don't control anything in life. You just influence the best decision that you can. And you got to suit up and stand on what you do. It might work out. It might not. You might get the job. You might not.
Right.
You might get the girl. You might not.
Right. Right.
But what are you, a gazelle or a lion?
Oh, how you do that?
Oh. My man E.T. talk about that all the time.
You going? Matter of fact, I was listening to him today.
Right.
You gonna run because you're scared, or you running because you're hunting?
You on ET too?
I've been on ET, man.
Oh man, hey, look, we
Been
tryna-
on ET,
We
bro.
we getting up in we getting into to the
Shout out ET. If
Yes.
you see this, if you get to you, shout out.
shout out to the ET, the hip hop preacher, everybody at ETA, him, Carl, Jamal, everybody, dog.
Shout
like,
out to him.
hey, we trying to go see them in October, man. You down?
Hey man, like a pound.
Hey man, I'm trying to get to that that VIP.
Yeah, man. So
Oh man, yes. Love the knowledge, man. Love the knowledge. Like, I'm sitting up here like taking mental notes on everything you saying right now, dude. Because it is rare that I come across somebody in my life that actually speaking on a higher plane.
yeah,
Like of awakening, like a plane of
Right.
awakening, dog. Like, so I'm over here like taking all type of mental notes. I'm about to break out a pen and
Come
everything,
on, man.
dog. Like, for real.
come on. Oh, and I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
Oh, you good, man?
I got to finish answering your question. So, with all that being said, I had to learn how to put all that footage together. So I was like David Banner. All I wanted to do, I just wanted to write the verse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I planned on having a driver.
Uh-huh.
I planned on having a camera guy.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? They didn't come.
Oh yeah.
So I had to teach myself how to edit. I had to teach myself L cuts, J cuts. I had to teach myself how to film, ISO, shutter speed, and things of that nature. So that took a while, but now that part is actually catching up to what I'm actually really able to do, because I've been riding like this for a while, but the way I was capturing it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I went and taught myself how to make film. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't go to school for editing. I didn't, you know, everything that I do is self-taught. I learned how to longboard with polo boots on because I couldn't afford skate shoes.
You got to do what you got
You
to
gotta
do,
do
man.
what you gotta do.
No excuses.
You got an excuse or you got a reward. That's the way I see it.
So, what is your passion? Like, what are you passionate in at this current time? What do you say your passion lies in?
Oh man, so anything's a craft, right?
Right.
My passion is teaching. Anything's a craft, whether you're a longboarder, whether you're a cook, whether you're a martial artist. There's always, excuse me, there's always a mindset behind it. You know, like from longboarding. Yes, it's fun and all that good stuff, but what are the things that you learn from it? You learn that pain is only temporary. Fear is only in the mind. Limits are the only thing that you're selling yourself.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's my true passion. Latte conversations. If you see it, you have to ask yourself, what is this guy doing? That's probably the first thing you ask. Like, what's going on here? He's longboarding. He's talking some real ish.
Yeah.
You know, he has some sense about him. He's a veteran. So my thing is like this. I know from where we come from, not many people have those experiences, and the people that do, they say, I'm gonna keep my little lot in life. So my thing is like this. If the earth grew me to be here, to give back to the earth ultimately, that the dust you come from, the dust you shall return.
Mm-hmm.
It's my duty, and I put this on myself. You know, this is not anything that anybody imposed on me. It's just like, if you gave me life, my duty is at a basic human level is to breathe life into you. Is to breathe life into you. Because anything else is death. Men either build or destroy. There's no in between. There is no in between. You either build or destroy. Tomorrow when somebody wakes up, they're going to like you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to like you a little bit less. Your life's going to be a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Everything's in constant motion. Nothing in here is ever stopping.
Right.
Nothing. If the world turns constantly, how can you say anything stands still?
Facts. And it doesn't. Everything moves, from the blade of grass to the ants that's under the ground, constantly moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Another thing. So they say life is like or thought in general is like a sequence. It starts out with a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So that's zero.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Zero is what whole number. It can't be counted. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, that zero turns to one.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting the steps forward after the thought and all that other stuff. Next day, that zero and that one becomes two.
Right.
Mm.
And then so on and so on. So you either, add to that or you subtract.
Come on, man. That's what we doing today, man. That's what we're doing today.
But bro, like for real, like I'm gonna be like 100%. When I first became like, I guess you could say like started awakening. I guess you could say that. One of my biggest goals was like, I've always hated the place that I grew up in a sense that like I grew up in fear because of how my environment treated me.
Right.
And like, cause I grew up in Petersburg.
Right.
And right up in Fifth Ward.
I got you.
On Rome Street, actually.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I spent a lot of time on
I'm around
Rome
that
Street
way.
growing up.
I'm around that way.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm around that way.
Yeah. So I like my family. I had like family all up in there. My mom even still live on With Street. Right now. Like I always wanted to change the environment that I grew up in, because I know that the people that I grew up with and their people were all unlearned.
Right.
Like, and it's just like this whole crab in the bucket mentality and everything. Like every conversation you hear about Petersburg was how Petersburg was like like the people there were ignorant, how they don't know anything. The kids aren't learning anything. The schools are unaccredited and things like that. So I've always wanted to, it was like a toxic environment, which it was in certain aspects. And I've always wanted to go back and give back to Petersburg on a sense of teaching people how to like look outside of your own situation and grow. Right. And like, I never knew how I was going to do that. Right. And even now I still come back to that thought, even though my passion is a little bit different, because when I did that, I was like in network marketing. So that's what I said I wanted to use that. I wanted to use network marketing as a vehicle to make the money to come back, to have the capital to come back and do something for Petersburg, for like whether it was investing or something like that. So I always had the passion of like wanting to change. And like over the years, I've noticed like I'll come across a lot of people who talk about the problem. Right. But that's all they want to talk about is the problem. Right. Nobody wants to actually come out and like just go into the thick of it and just like make the change from the inside out. It's just like, we just want to stand back and look at the problem. Like you want to escape it, which I get it. You like, it's a rough environment. Like Petersburg ain't no, it's not somewhere that you play around at. Like if you don't know the streets, you'll get messed up out there. Yeah. And like like people will get out of Petersburg, like they'll go on, move on to other places, and they just like thumb their nose at it. Right. And everybody just wants to just stand around and talk about the problem, but they don't want to actually do something about it. So it's refreshing to actually hear that there's somebody there doing something about it.
But you know what, you gotta let's put this in perspective, right? I did 13 months in Iraq. Okay. What's a Petersburg in that aspect to me?
Right. Exactly.
You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And especially when you walk down those paths with them same shoes on. I know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different mindset. Like when you're raised by a family, whether it's a single home or with both parents in there, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But very few people know how to resonate with people that the streets raised.
Right.
Especially if you ain't from it.
Right.
Because first thing you're going to say is, man, he always got attitude. Nah, he probably hungry, bro.
Right.
He probably didn't take a shower last night, bro.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? His old lady probably just got beat up on. You know when people never... But you know what? People aren't exposed to that life.
Mm.
A lot of people grow up in bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, it's so real, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, you have to find something that people want to get involved in. No matter how much I love longboarding, I know that's the me thing. So I know that I'm a great filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I know cats that have studios. Like we just did a nice little studio session with JD Hayes. Shout out JD Hayes.
Seen that video, man.
Yeah, but we had some cats.
Love that video, man.
We had some cats around the way up in the booth, man. And it's kind of like,
Bro, I didn't even know that studio was in there, dog.
man, it's a lot of hidden gems.
Walk past that studio, walk past that building all the time. Like we had, like I was just telling Marcus the day that we, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you good. You good.
Like,
you
and
good.
I was just telling Marcus the day that we had like our like 8th grade, like I was in Peabody, had our 8th grade dance there in that building, man. All that history in this town that we live in, man.
Yeah, man. And I know filmmaking and people just want to be heard a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you have people that have a voice and they're able to feel like that voice is being heard, that's probably the spark that they need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's most anybody wants. Everybody has something to say, but and it trips me out. Like people only listen to what they have value in a particular time in their life. Like a love song is only deep when you're in love.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A turn up song is only great when you're in the club.
Oh, when you got a little money in your pocket.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you have to understand that you have to fight through a person's emotional state every day versus their logic, then implement discipline when they probably don't even want it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you got to trick people to be better sometimes.
Oh.
And you got to attack their values.
Without discrediting them.
Right. Because a man's values is what make him as a person.
So it's kind of like this. If I walk up to you and I say, hey, young buck, I got 100 right here. You could take this 100 and spend it. I could show you how to make this 100.
The Matrix.
Now, check this out. Let's just be real about it. 9 times out of 10, how many people around this way are going to take that $100 bill?
Oh, boy. Hey, 98% of them. The law of averages, 98%.
98%. So how do you get that dude after he done blew out the 100 to come back, and you probably don't want to talk to him after that?
Now what? Like you blew the 100, now what?
And a lot of times after that, we brush people off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what if somebody brushed me off? Somebody brushed you off when you was hard-headed. When somebody brushed you off when you was hard-headed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, everybody, just because you're in a grown body don't mean you're grown. Just because you're smart, you can still be uneducated.
Right.
There's a lot of smart people running around here.
There's a lot of people too smart for their own good,
But
bro.
they're uneducated. Like I said, people know how to make money, but they don't know how to save money. They don't know how to make that money multiply without doing anything. Who knows about passive income, residual income? There ain't nobody talking about that.
No, that's not typical.
But if I got you out here on the skateboard, I'm tricking you. Oh, we gonna skate, bruh. Hey man, what you know about passive income? What you talking about, OG?
You gotta set them up in a trap.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. You know,
find something that y'all can have in common, so you can teach them.
There you
Uplift
go.
them in the back end.
because it really depends on the relationship, man.
Yeah.
You have to have a relationship before anybody
Yeah.
even pays you any type of attention. We're putting together on June 5th, man, another trip to West Virginia, which is pretty exciting, man. 2 years later, same spots. You know, we got some pro boys coming down this time, man.
Okay.
We got some Jared Lopez's. We got some, you know, I don't want to give everything away, but it's some people, if you in the game, you know, you can go on YouTube.
Like you know these folks.
Oh, yeah, they're sponsored by Moonshine, Arsenal Trucks. Oh, no, they got paperwork. They got receipts.
Oh, my.
Matter of fact, if you go on some of my pages right now, I'm skating with them now. Yeah, and when they put them in the video, it's like, you know, it's magic. But just imagine what I'm doing plus like 5 to 6 more people.
Right.
You know, and you get to have more tricks and more fun doing that. So we're going to go to the can't give away the location, but West Virginia, and it's gonna be a camping trip. So this is the vision for that, right? So usually when you go big boy style like that and you travel so far away, because everybody's coming from different areas.
Right.
What's 2 hours for me might be 5 hours for my homeboy.
Yeah.
So what we do is, man, we go out there. We plan on doing it Friday to Sunday. We get some tents, and we camp out there, man, for 3 days. We just skate away.
That sounds fun.
We eat hot dogs on the grill. We bond, share things like this. And the thing about skating is, not everybody's just a person with a job. Like I have CFOs that skate. I have business owners that are longboarders. Like they come from all walks of life. And a lot of stuff that I'm telling you now is a lot of information that has come from them. When they start saying, hey man, you're like the only type of guy doing this pretty well. You get what I'm saying?
Come on.
I got a homeboy that actually called me the Jackie Robinson of this.
Oh,
all right, legit.
That's how deep it is.
That's a dope ass title. Like,
yeah.
The Jackie Robinson of longboard. That's what. Hey,
yeah.
Okay.
And just on a minor tip,
it's thick.
The biggest thing I want to get out there is you don't have to be the status quo to express yourself.
Right.
If your thing is playing the violin, dog, be the best violin player.
Right.
Absolutely.
You want to skateboard, man? Go skateboard, man. You want to play what's the thing called croquet? Go play croquet. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your environment dictate your mental state. I know it's hard. It's very hard, obviously.
Yeah.
But once you break through, man, you got one or two choices, man. You can go to Beverly Hills, or you can let your cousins, your aunties, whatever, just say, you know what, they just ain't gonna get it. There's some people that change at 55 years old. People that go back to college at 60 years old, gets their bachelor's at. There's no concept of time when it comes to something changing. When that things change, they could change the world in one day.
Right.
How many times people been in the grind for 10, 15 years, and you see that one video and it makes you go back 10, 15 years from when they first started.
E.T. one of the
you
big
get what I'm
examples
saying?
thinking of right now. Yeah.
Then when they do that, from there, count the views, then subtract how many people's lives he's changed just from speaking, being seen, being heard. You did what I'm saying? That's a very powerful thing.
Why do you think people fear change?
Oh, bro.
It just depends, man. You can say
I can answer that, dog.
it just depends where you're at on the scale in this third dimension. Like if you rich, you fear change because change might mean you going broke. If you're poor, change could be I could lose my house. So people could fear change because their life is too good, or people can fear change because they don't want things to change.
Yeah. I got a real simple answer for that. Like,
What's up?
so scientifically speaking, the human body goes to everything that is what's called the path of least resistance. And scientifically, if it's hard, we ain't going that way. It's the difference between going this like, and you can catch yourself doing it and just regular everyday life. Somebody tell you like, okay, well, this road here is shorter. It'll get you to your destination faster. No, I'm going this road because there's less traffic. It's the difference, but the difference between taking the more efficient way to taking the way that's going to actually be more fruitful. So like when people think of the word change, they think of like he said, they think of the failure that comes with the possible change because you're stepping into the unknown. Right. And when you're stepping into the unknown, it's like it's uncontrolled. Like I have no idea what's going to happen to my life if I do this. So therefore, people rather just stay in their bubble. It's the law of being complacent.
Yeah.
And complacency is a horrible thing. And
Stagnation,
people don't even realize that they're being complacent. Some people they think they so good in life, they don't even feel like they need to change. Here you are, a millionaire, but your personality sucks and people don't want to be around you. So some people don't even realize that they need to change. Here you are in the hood, you chilling with your boys and y'all like standing on the corner drinking beer every night, but you ain't got no money. So but you happy with that. So people don't even know they need to change.
But you know what the crazy thing about this, right? Can we get deeper?
Go ahead.
This universe, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, whatever your higher power in your life is, it don't care nothing about that. It just cares about balance. Can I spit something that this elder told me the other day, and it messed me up, right? Dying stars. I'm about to, you about to take a little trip.
All
right, dying stars, right? So we hear this happens at a certain amount of time, yada, yada, yada. Burns up, black hole comes, something else comes from it, right?
Right.
But my thing is like this. I need something more than just that outside view. So I got a little theory that was passed to me, right? What if, I'm come full circle with this. What if, right? If we can say there's more than one solar system,
right?
If there's more than one sun, things of that nature,
right?
What if people are the reasons why dying stars are here? That's what I'm saying. Watch this, right? So right now we got global warming, right? Right. Where does global warming come from? Check this out. 50, 60 years ago, we had coal mines. You had the basic, archaic way of doing it. So it would take you, 10, 20 years to mine something that's reasonable, large in size.
Right.
Now we have all this equipment, right?
Right.
You can mine that same thing probably in a couple of months.
Right.
So what happens when something is spinning and you start taking away the insides of it? You want to balance in it. Who's doing that? People, right? So what happens when you start unbalancing something? The earth rotates on the axis of delinearization.
Yeah.
It's at a tilt.
Yeah.
So imagine one of them thimbles or whatever you call them. So when you start systematically pulling parts from out of the earth in different spots, you're going to cause it to wobble. The world is going to spin faster because the weight's not there. So now the seasons are coming out of whack.
It's in the wrong spot.
We can say it now. Why is it cold right now?
Exactly.
We in full bloom. Check this out. Who's doing that? People. There's going to be a point where we're going to take so much out of this world from the inside out that guess what? It's going to crumble. Now from another solar system with people just like us looking at Earth, we're just a star to them.
Yeah.
All they're going to see is a star dying, crumbling up and doing whatever. But they're not going to see the people in here actually exploiting the insides and drying it raw. So what happens after a while when there's no more insides and it keeps spinning? What happens? The world tears apart.
Right. Krypton.
Dying star.
Yep.
So you have to put that in. You have to put this in what I'm saying in context, right? It's very hard when there is a species on Earth, if we take in this theory for what it is, that's made to destroy a planet to do better. Sit on that.
Because what have we truly gave back to the earth? Like fossil fuels, all that we've constantly been taken from the earth.
We gave it plastic bottles.
Oil.
Yes. So your innate thought process is not to go outside and do good. Because if humans are supposed to build this planet up, we'll probably be planting more trees. Right. Why is it so hard to say, hey, dog, if you keep fracking, you're going to start breaking apart some land formations.
Right.
You're going to start, what happens then? They say they gave the world like another 200 years. That's why they got the Space Force program. I know we're getting off track, but this is what I'm saying. Once you get a understanding of not only we need to do better, but like in real time, dog, we ain't got that much time. Because your grandkids probably gonna see the end of this thing. We have to start preparing, man. Whether you're teaching it through a longboard, whether you're teaching it through a podcast, and I'm not saying you need to go out there and buy all the toilet paper, throw that out there, all the toilet paper in the world, but there has to be a sense of balance to say, you know what? This is bigger than Petersburg. This is bigger than Virginia. This is bigger than the United States.
Right.
And skateboarding is so universal that you can go anywhere. I've met many of friends that don't speak a lick of English, Spanish. But we talk about that longboard, everybody talk the same language.
Right.
True.
And so when you have a platform to where it's universal, I'm not saying it's your responsibility to to say the best thing at all times, but do something, bro.
And that kind of there was a video that I watched that like we should kind of actually be like learning a little bit from the COVID-19, because since everybody's been like indoors and we haven't been buying a lot of stuff, like there's like a couple of potato farms that they just have like extra of like just potatoes and other stuff they're just gonna throw away. But the world is low key have been like getting better, like pollution is down, Earth is healing itself.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, we
could have been the point of the whole COVID-19 in the first place.
But you know what? You know what really I think it is? COVID-19 is just a flu that came early and people wasn't ready for it. Because when is flu season? Flu season came early.
True.
Yeah.
Basically.
People weren't ready for it. That Thanos snap. It's hard, bro.
Yeah, we not gonna get into the whole COVID-19 situation, why that happened, what the outcome is. I don't even want to talk about that.
I got you. Hey, I'm with you on that train. I ain't got no dog in the fight.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
I ain't got no dog in the fight.
We just spent enough of our time talking about COVID-19 on this podcast. No more of that. No more of that. we boycotting that.
Yeah, man. And just think about this, right? Say if nobody takes away the longboarding part, what if they take away the filmmaking part? What if they just take away the filmmaking part, bro?
That's still something.
The entrepreneur part. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things tagged along to this longboard that the longboard has taught me. And I said, it makes me laugh every day. A piece of wood with 4 wheels. made me start taking life a lot more seriously in certain aspects. So
going back to the basics.
Yep.
Back to the basics. Piece of wood. Back to the basics. But hey, that's part of your story. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man.
We all have the vehicle. I mean, you come across a lot of vehicles in life. Right. And every vehicle is going to take you to a different destination.
Right.
And some people, they hop in the wrong vehicles chasing the wrong things, so that's why they don't really reach their destination. But you got on that to look for enlightenment, and that's what you found.
Yeah, man. And even if you get in longboarding, you're going to have to mess with some geometry. You're going to have to mess with some physics. There's a thing called a tuck. That's straight geometry. Your body has to be angled at a certain type of way to even endure a certain type of speed. Because believe it or not, like on your back foot, you're pivoting on your toes after a certain speed. Because if your whole foot is in there, it's too much of a response at that speed to where you're oversteer. So after you hit 40 miles per hour, everything's precision.
Yeah.
Your movement is precision. This right here can mess up a whole day. Literally, what I just did, I can mess up your whole day.
You know what? It's like that. You know, I ride too. It's like that on a motorcycle too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, because when you sitting still on a motorcycle, you can just like pull your feet up off the ground, like just lift your feet up, and that thing is like liable to just like fall like in a split second. But once you start going to like 10 miles per hour, like the slightest change in everything could send that bike into the wrong direction. Like, it stands up on its own. It's easier to hold up. But at the same time, the slightest response, like at 80 miles per hour, this is enough to flip you. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, that is enough to flip you at 80 miles per hour.
Right. And just imagine doing that in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
With just a helmet, some knee pads, some gloves. You better be on your ish.
All right, so I do got a question, and I'm sorry to get off topic, but I'm just a little curious about something on the filmmaking perspective. Like, dog,
man.
How in the hell you record? How you get footage? How do you get footage of yourself going 50 miles per hour down a hill?
I was like, do you look at the camera?
Like, is somebody following you with a drone, or is like somebody in the car behind you on Zoom? Please explain to our listeners how that happens.
So, like I said, man, I just wanted to be the dude to, write the song. So what happened was, at first I had a camera guy, but he took the L fall. So it was kind of like, I'm pretty good, I got all this talent, and can't nobody see it. So I had this mentor in Japan, man. Shout out Dre. AM Imaging, man. Man, thank you so much, man. That's my mentor. And when you start just breaking down, like, hey, man, you know you're gonna have to do this yourself. And when somebody says that to you, and you
already know
and you got to think to yourself, like, bro, you're saying that pretty easy
Like,
for somebody not to be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
You already thought of this.
Yeah, exactly. I already thought about it. So I'm thinking, okay, before I even purchase this video equipment, how many times is it going to break? I found that out. So, so what happened was, one time I got a selfie stick and I just started just regular riding, right? Broke a couple GoPros, man. Hurt my pockets.
Yeah.
Then after a while, this is what made me keep going. I said, I'm making my money back. That's about 500 out the window. That's 2 GoPros, man. That's 500 out the window. Hey, dog, I need something.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, I'm not going to get better on this longboard until I can hold the camera. So I don't care how many GoPros I had to go through. I was going to learn how to ride while holding the camera. And now I do it so much, it's weird not holding a camera.
Oh.
But check this out. If you think I'm a stallion, you know, with the camera in my hand, you take the camera in my hand, I'm a unicorn. It's a whole different ball game.
Boy.
It's a whole different ball game.
Right.
You know, so then from there, I filmed it. So then I would just throw out like minute clips. Then it was kind of like, man, I'm getting tired of 5 views every time I put out this fire. You know what I'm saying? My man's was like, hey, dog, you gotta learn how to edit. All right, so you want me to skate, to be the talent. You want me to be the filmer. And you want me to be the production crew to edit this. Hey, dog, what we doing? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of responsibility.
You know what I'm saying? I still got a job. I got things to do, right? So
you're throwing out a lot of suggestions to not be contributing,
right. So then for a while, man, I talked him into, hey, dog, I'm just gonna film it, dog. I sent it to you, man. I don't care how long it take back to get back. Just just don't have me waiting too long. So that went on for a while. Then it got to the point where it's like, man, I don't like the, everybody got lives, so I really can't follow them. You gotta do what you gotta do. I was like, man, the return on this ain't happening too much. Because keep in mind, he has his own company, so he has bigger things to do, and which I understand. So then it was kind of like, I gotta go back in the lab. I got to teach myself how to edit. And it was rough.
What you use to edit?
First I used InShot.
Oh, well, I did hear you telling Marcus about that.
Then InShot, I had I got pretty good at it, and I outgrew the software. So then my homie put me on KindMaster. And man, for the past 2 years, I've been rocking with that, man. It does everything I need. And I'm getting to the point where I'm outgrowing that, so I want to move up to iMovie. So it went from, and it really goes down to the drive. It's like when you love something, man, like it ain't no number to the cost of it.
Right. Ooh. Yeah.
Either you love it or you don't.
You're going to invest.
Cause check this out. Some people might say, all right, so this board right here, right? How much you think this board with everything, and everything's customized? How much you think this board costs? This little piece of wood right here. How much you think I'm riding on right now?
Probably a few hundred.
50.
This is $350 in my hand right now. Some people might say, for skating, that's expensive.
That's too much.
But check this out. Ain't no cost on love.
Yeah.
Expense is only relative.
The man following his passion, do not worry about the price.
What they say, if I'm asking for the price tag, I don't need to be in the store.
Oh. You right.
The mic's on mic stands. I want to drop the mic for him. I want to drop the mic for him. I just can't do it. It's just not physically possible at this moment to drop the mic for him.
Just let me hear him.
Just
No,
don't do that.
Yeah, man, and that's how it happened. I keep in mind, man, that was a 4 year with no clapping, with no crowd, with no good jobs. That was all like either you love it or you don't.
Right. That's what's up. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, it's a lot going on.
It is. So people have passion out here. People have passion. They have drive. So what would stop a person to change their mindset, their livelihood for their passion? Why don't we get that more often?
From what I've seen, man, I seen, man. I ain't saying I've been in the game for a while, but I've been 100 miles per hour since I started. I've seen do it because I seen people stop because the hurt. They didn't get the accolades at a certain time. And people's motivation, man. And that's, I think that's really what it is, bro. It's kind of like if you set out to do anything, right? And you put a number on it, man. Numbers are forever, bro. Right. You can count until you can't understand what a number is. Right. You know what I mean? So that could be depressing for a lot of people. But if you say, you know what, I just want to do this because I want to do this. Just like I want to have a job to make a way for my family, or I want to go to have to the gym to make my body better so it can, you know, be here a couple more years. It's just what your initial motivation is, man. And passion is something that you don't determine what that is. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you can figure out what passion is, there's going to be an off switch. Like, passion is that thing to where the flames are never fanned. Like, it doesn't cool down. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years, and every time I step on this board, it's not like yesterday was better than today. Every day is great. Awesome. So once you have something like that in your life, and a lot of times people might just have the incorrect thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said earlier, like, a lot of people have passion, but people say, you know what, you're big, so you should play football. That should be your passion. You're tall and, you know, you're athletic. You can run really good. Your passion should be. No, passion could be nothing but just bird watching. People get paid up. You know what trips me out? Anthony Bourdain, man. R.I.P. Bourdain. How do you pronounce his name?
Bordeaux?
That's, you know what I'm talking about? No reservations.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What?
Is that how you say it?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The real cool dude. You know what? I studied him too. You know what I said? How smart do you have to be? And how charismatic do you have to be for people to sit down and watch you talk about food? And I give you something else, man. And people gonna think, you know, this is out the way, but it makes sense. Kim Kardashian. She was on I think it was 60 Minutes. What's the old guy name? Larry King? Yeah. And Larry King tried to, you know, he tried to flex on her. He was like, what do you say you do that's your talent? You know, because all I really see you do is, you know, come on TV and talk.
Multiple businesses.
So she said, well, how smart do you have to be to live a life that more than 1 million people want to follow?
Oh. Multiple businesses.
Oh.
So the Jay-Z said it. You can run a business, or you can be the business, man.
Yeah.
So when you the business, it's like this. You can chase the cow. You can put the ball on the porch.
And I want to dig into that, what you just said, like about people telling you what your passion is. Like, I don't get how somebody could just be like, all right, yeah, one day I'm passionate about this. Yeah, this is what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. You go back to the crib, tell your mom, like, Mom, this is what I want to do. Your mom say, no, that's dumb. And then all of a sudden you just switch it up. Like, how did that happen?
I'm gonna tell you. Oh, it's funny that you said it. You know how many you know how many people have to cut off of this? I don't cut off family members, because my thing is like this.
You got to do that.
My thing is like this. Nobody said it was dumb when you decided you wanted to do nails. Nobody said it was dumb when you decide to, you know, be a bike enthusiast.
No, because that's those things. Well, not the biking. You talking about like motorcycle enthusiasts? Yeah. I mean, but yeah, like those are things that you can tangibly see. So those are things that they can see that they have seen. It's like, oh yeah, your people doing that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, until you go inside yourself, and you know what, people don't want to do that because it gets lonely, quote unquote, because it's gonna take some time. You ain't gonna find this out in 6 months.
Facts.
It might like with that self work, bro. People will involve themselves in everything else in life before they involve themselves with themselves.
We just talking about that.
There's gonna be some things you ain't gonna like.
You're right.
Then there's gonna be some things you're gonna say, I don't like it, but this happened, so it's just justified, and I'm gonna stay like this. That's ignorant.
That's it.
You know what the theory of evolution say? It ain't the strongest nor the weakest animal that survives. It's the one that's more reliable, able to adapt.
Mm.
That's why the ant's still here.
Oh.
Caveman ain't here.
Mm.
That's why the alligator's still here. Dinosaurs ain't here.
Facts.
Cause you know what happened to the Homo erectus? The Homo sapien came.
Yeah.
Mm.
And my things like this, the earth know how to take care of itself.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like I said, they care about balance. Whether you like it or not, your purpose on earth is going to be fulfilled, whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it. You got to determine if you want to get there in a Geo or in a McLaren.
Mm.
It's up to you. The choice
It's
is
up
yours.
to you.
The choice is yours.
But you know what? That Geo easy to get. Like you said, the path of least resistance.
Yep.
That McLaren, oh man, you might have to
put in some work.
Yeah, you might have to lose some sleep.
You had to.
You might have to deal with some people you don't like.
Ooh.
You know people have to deal with. I
You have to
don't
break
like.
outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You might have to spend that and I done did this. You might have to spend that light bill on that road trip. You might have to burn some candles. I done been there. Water cut off.
You had
Rent late.
You got to stop eating
And
steak
people-
every night.
You know what happened?
Right.
Hey dog, so you spending all this on the longboard, right? Now we getting into existing and living.
Mm.
Fear. What do you say? Fight or flight?
What Drake say?
What do you say?
Everybody die, not everybody live.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm talking about?
Show my things like this. Just think about any great entrepreneur that made it. Walt Disney went broke like 7 times. Michael Jordan didn't make it. Like so that path to success, it ain't sweet like that. It ain't that I figured it out and it's going to work and here we go. No, dog. Because like business is war. It's a mental war. You just ain't gonna push out, especially when you're an underdog. You ain't big bank take little bank, so you gotta outthink a lot of people. You know, you have to outthink to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I can't go wallet to wallet with you. I knew that from the get go. But this is what I found out. I'm pretty smart. And when you put street knowledge with books, to a person that just got book knowledge,
they can't compete.
you don't want to show up half the time. Like, I will be a lot further if you want to show up. Get in the ring with me. Win, lose, or draw. You know how the Army say, win, lose, or draw. People don't want to show up no more. So I gotta go to you. I gotta go to West Virginia. I'm gonna find you. I gotta go to North Carolina. Hey, you ain't gonna walk around me. If you is what you is, then you gonna do what you do. And I think I'm everything I say. That's why I'm putting every dime in this for the past 4 years.
Right.
That done took many L's. I done bet the house and lost the house. That's why I got a new house. You get what I'm saying?
All
Right.
Let's finish some statements. You did? But everything comes back, man, because like just on a higher plane, man, it's called equivalent exchange. Like I said, it cares about balance. If you give, I don't care if you're a bad person or a good person. Like we say, it's a lot of people with bad attitudes that are rich.
Yeah.
They follow the script. Whether you like them or not, somehow they got aware of what the script was. And if you do A, B, and C, A,
They
B,
got
and
that
C,
system.
A, B, and C, it's going to work. And a lot of times when you dig it in that mine year after year and you ain't find one diamond, you're like, but somebody else can make that one little.
Or at least that's how it appears to you.
So yeah, and so what happens is, how do you measure time after that?
What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
All right, well, we were sitting here doing the podcast, right? How are you measuring this time? Is it taking too long? Is it going great? Is it going short for you? Like right now, we're just in a constant flow, right? Now, what if we had $1,000 on the table? How would you measure time now?
The same. It's just $1,000, random ass $1,000 sitting in the middle of the table.
It wouldn't make a difference at all.
Not to me.
Okay.
I mean, is it my money? Like,
Of course,
that's questions.
yeah.
Some questions.
Of course, it's your money.
I mean,
if you knew when I say $1,000, if you knew after every podcast, you would make $1,000.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How would you measure time versus
slow?
Versus, hey man, we up and running. We gonna make this thing work. Time is measured different. When you dig in a trench versus if you want to talk. Time is different.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
When you sitting in the admin office for 8 hours and you working in the warehouse for 8 hours, time is different.
But then we just had this conversation. Oh,
that's relativity. That's Einstein, baby.
We kind of talked about this morning.
Now, what happens is when your mental plane supersedes the concept of time, because that's just a construct.
Yeah, man-made construct too.
Yeah. So forever is right now. Meaning what you're doing has already been done. Like time, niggas deep. Man, I ain't trying to do all that. But what I'm saying is,
I got you.
If you measure time by as you know about a clock, you'll always be late.
Right.
On something. But if you say I'm measuring time by my efforts, by my ambition, by my giving, you know what I'm saying? Everything has its proper place. Nothing's rushed. Nothing's a doubt. Nothing's a fear. Everything's just happening. Because I could be the greatest one, but check this out. If I said, hey, bruh, we gonna listen to EDM back in the 90s, it might be the dopest thing. But the world ain't ready for that yet. Just like Outkast. I was playing that earlier. Wasn't nobody ready. People appreciate Outkast more than they did. Like Reasonable Doubt. I went back and listened to that album, Jay-Z. And I'm saying, goodness. And guess what you call that? Timeless. So does it really exist when you do something like that?
And that definitely hit me because I'm like, I'm the person where time is money.
Yeah.
Like I wake up every day at 3, every day, no matter what day it is. Like it might be the military got me all screwed up on that note, but
I get it.
But
I get it.
Every day at 3, and I'm like, yo, business hours like 3 to 6, 3 o'clock a.m. to 6 p.m. do not bother me. Yeah, I feel you on that.
And if you structure it like that, like say if you know how you meal prep, right? What if for the week you time prep?
A lot of people would be a lot more productive with their lives.
And you'll probably stop saying I don't have time.
Exactly.
That's what I had to do. Man, I ain't got time to skate.
Time management, fam. Like a lot of people who ain't got time to work out, but they at risk of diabetes.
If you got time to say it, you got time to do it.
Facts. If you got time to sit, you got time. Man, this dude dropping nuggets, man.
If you got time to say it, you got time to do it. What time is it? I don't need to ask you.
If you got time for
6:03. If you got time to say it, you got time to do it.
Facts. If you got time for Netflix and chill, you definitely got time to do it.
You know, but it's you got to paint a perfect picture sometimes, man. And sometimes the perfect picture of being better in your eyes for another person ain't their perfect picture.
Yeah.
And we got to be cool with that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there's always going to be a ghetto. There's always going to be a Beverly Hills. It ain't our place to say where you belong.
Right.
But I think it's my duty personally to let you know, hey, it could be your place if you just make a decision. Everything's a decision, man.
Right.
Like literally, like just really think about that.
Brian, one decision can change the flow of your entire life, dog. Like we watched it in movie references, just in case anybody don't get it. Let's go back to talk about Endgame. How one decision changed the flow of an entire timeline, fam. One decision. It's like it could be the smallest decision going left or right.
I got something. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
I'm gonna tell you one of a major decision I had to make a while ago. This is before I got to West Virginia. This is when it first, man. This is when it first started, man. This is like 3 years ago. This is like within the first year. So I was going through hard times, right? And I was catching up on rent. I was already like 2 months behind. And I had to make a decision, either to take this road trip with at least a partial payment in my pocket, which I was going to give, or give it to the landlord. Now we know the consequences of not giving the money. You know what happens.
Right. Right.
The street right there in Petersburg. You know what I'm saying? A lawn boy, bro. And you know what I said? If I'm on the street, at least I'm happy. Now that's going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but with me saying that, I know in doing that wouldn't happen, because if this wasn't for me, I would never even been introduced. Just keep in mind, a longboard, bro. Like I haven't said, this is practice. A longboard in Petersburg. And I keep saying that. Like anything could have been tossed in my way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought? And those are the sacrifices, man. And like I said, I lost the house. And I had to eat that. But guess what?
Right.
But guess what? I lost that house and I kept skating.
Yeah. You got, like you said, you got another house.
I got another house and it's better. And it's gated.
And he happier than he ever been.
You know.
Following his passion. Oh, yeah. So
that's actually almost biblical. I forget the names, but story about the guy that God basically took his wife, his home, sitting in a pile of ash,
mm-hmm.
and they was like, "Hey man, what? Just curse God and die."
Job, we talking about good old Job.
Yeah, good old Job.
Good old Job.
Just curse God and God, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna keep my faith." You know,
Yeah.
At least he was happy, you know, in his faith.
Yeah.
And after everything was said and done, he got blessed with
Tenfold.
Tenfold, better
More
house,
kids,
better wife,
better-
more kids, everything. And that's just follow your passion. Like it, if it's your passion, your true passion, you're meant to succeed in.
And check like this, right? What if your passion is just another word for your life's purpose on earth? Because
Right.
it ain't to have no job. Just kill all that career. Let's kill it. Why are you here on earth? Period.
You get it.
That answer's already given to you. Come on now, you know what I'm talking about.
man.
You already got
Come
that
on,
answer.
man. Come on, man.
And you know
Drop the
what?
nuggets.
And you know what that is? Your answer might not resonate with anybody else because everybody's a fingerprint, right?
Right.
You don't nobody else in this world have.
That same exact thing. Except
So
for
what
koalas
if
for some reason.
what if your passion is just a dumbed down word for your life's calling? Because if it's your passion, nobody's tearing you away from it.
Right.
If it's your passion, that meal don't seem as empty. You know what I'm saying? If it's your passion, you know, your mouth don't get dry when you ain't got no water. When it's passion, your feet don't hurt when you got blisters. When it's passion and you skin your arm up, you say, I'm going to take another run and we're going to make the best of this rest of this trip. Like nothing matters, bro.
You can never do too much for
You
your passion.
can never do too much. And guess what? When people do their passion, guess what they never get? Tired. Shout out Kevin Gates.
Just that slight shout out. Kevin.
On that note,
I got 6 jobs. Get tired.
We gonna go ahead and end this episode on that.
Yes,
note.
sir.
Penitentiary rules.
Oh man! So we're gonna put all of this man's links in the description of this video.
Please do,
and then,
man.
Yes,
of this
sir.
podcast. And go ahead and check out Hiatus Black on YouTube.
Yes.
And all of his social media links will be in the
Yes.
description as well. Thank you for joining us on
Thank
this
you.
episode. Hopefully we can
Thank
get you on another episode in the near future.
Yes,
and
sir.
Collaborate on some other stuff. We're gonna talk about that though after we
Definitely.
end this though. So be sure to get over to AscensionDynasty.com. Check out all of our content, Mac of all trades on YouTube, and check out our merch that it's going down. It's going down. Like this year,
Legit.
we not letting anything stop us from being in our purpose and following our passion. Oh, man.
Peep the shirt and hat.
Oh man.
You ain't seen shirt?
Nah, lean back
Oh
on.
man. Oh
Lean
man.
back on.
Oh yeah.
Stop it.
Oh yeah.
This is
Oh yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end this episode. See you guys on the next one.
Peace.
peace.